ready for a good one. Yo, 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 welcome to the Juiced Up Show. I'm your host, Jay Juice Accardo, episode 24 of the program. The Juiced Up Show is basically TMZ meets ESPN, pop culture, social media clickbait, anything going kind of viral. We're going to talk about it. The two rules of the Juiced Up Show. No politics, no religion, and that's the only two rules of the show. Episode 24 today, we're going to talk a little bit of NFL. Deshaun Watson and Shedeur Sanders were announced that they will be competing for the starting position on the Browns. So I'll tell you how I feel about that. NBA, we had the Celtics versus Denver last night. Celtics coming off a back-to-back from Phoenix. We'll talk about that game and kind of what happened in that one. And then also we'll talk about the Suns owner, Matt Ashibia. He was on the Pat McAfee show, and he made some statements about the slam dunk contest and three-point contest with the All-Star Weekend that's going to be in Phoenix next year. So we'll talk about those. And, I'll go spill I'll tell you a little bit about how I feel about this. And then, so we'll talk about that. And then at the end of the show, it's the Juice Up Takes. All right. So, the Cleveland Browns recently announced with their manager, Todd Monken, that Deshaun Watson and Shedeur Sanders will be competing for the starting quarterback position. Deshaun Watson has been what he's been for the last 3 or 4 years. Like I said before in a few episodes on Juiced Up the Hard Way, is you're pretty much financially obligated to try to start this guy at any means possible with how much money, trade, draft picks you invested in this guy. So I feel like it's a no-brainer. He has to be the starter, and he should be the starter. And I just don't get how Dillon Gabriel just got pushed to the side now for Shedeur Sanders just because of all the, mainstream media bait, all the, social media presence. The guy wasn't good in college. He's not good now. So I don't get why do people have the blinders on just because you want the next Black Hope? It ain't this guy. I'm sorry. It ain't this guy. This guy is not good. He sits back in the pocket too long. He holds the ball too long. He's not accurate. He doesn't know how to do a read off of his first read. What are we all missing on film here? Even mainstream media, what are you guys seeing on film that nobody else can see on film that says this guy is going to be a Pro Bowler or that he should be a starter in the NFL? That's all I want to know. That's all I want to know is what are other people seeing that I'm missing, because I'm watching the games. I'm watching this kid play. He's not that good. He's not that. If he's better than Dillon Gabriel, he ain't that much better. So it actually should be a three-way job, and Dillon Gabriel got drafted ahead of him. Even though I know Todd Monken, he's inherited all these quarterbacks, and he did want Shedeur Sanders on the Ravens, so that might give him the one-up on that. But Shedeur Sanders is not that good, and it's not a race thing. It's not he's Deion's kid thing. It's just he's not that good thing. I'm sorry. I'm sick of hearing about this guy. 5th-round pick, average quarterback at best, and Mac Jones is a backup on the San Francisco 49ers, and Mac Jones would probably start on that team before anybody else did if they had Mac Jones. So stop it with the Shedeur Sanders already, please. And if I got to hear Colin Cowherd talk about Fernando Mendoza again, I'm going to fucking smack the shit out of myself. Jesus, who's paying Colin Cowherd for the Fernando Mendoza propaganda? That's all I want to know, because that's all I've heard about the last week is Fernando Mendoza. Fernando Mendoza. Average, bro. Average. Get off the hype train. You feel me? Shedeur Sanders, not a starter in the league. He will not be a starter this season unless Deshaun Watson gets hurt. I'm sorry. This kid's not that good. He's UFL talent at best. And there's probably quarterbacks in the UFL better than him. That was my first topic of the day. Deshaun Watson, Shedeur Sanders competing for the starting quarterback position for the Cleveland Browns. All right, next up, we also had the Celtics playing Denver last night. Celtics were coming off a back-to-back from Phoenix. They beat Phoenix the night before. Didn't have the legs under them going to Denver with the altitude. Denver stepped up their defense. They played a bad game a few games ago against the Warriors. The Warriors actually won without Steph, and I don't even think Draymond was playing either. Or if he was like invincible, because I didn't see anything he did in that game. But Denver came out, stepped up their defense, locked down. Jokic had a great game. He's coming off of a knee injury, so he's still kind of finding his way with the knee. It looks like he might be hurt just a little bit, so we'll see how that goes. Celtics will be okay. No 3-game road trip coming off a back-to-back, like I said. So, their legs probably weren't there with the altitude and everything. So you just kind of chalk that loss up to, it's just bad timing. I think they'll always compete with Denver. And I wouldn't mind seeing them in Denver in the finals. I think that would be a great game with Jaylen Brown. I think Tatum would be back probably in the second round of the playoffs if it's looking pretty good for the Celtics. And that could be a very good series. They got some great shooters. They had a lefty shooting. I forgot his name. He's got a pretty good little jumper. Just splashed a couple last night from the 3 line. And they got Vucevic from the trade from Chicago, so they had a little more size. So I think they're going to be okay. Derek White's a good defender. He's always a solid dude. He's very dependable. So I like the Celtics. And Denver stepped it up. They got to tighten up on their defense a little bit. Jamal Murray I think he had like flu-like symptoms, or he was sick before the game, so he tried to give it a go. He wasn't able to, so he sat out the whole second half, and it was pretty much Jokic. But they got a good, Denver's got a good supporting staff with Braun. They got Brown back, so they got a good little nucleus of players to support and to be backing up the starters and get a good rotation going for the playoffs. Because once the playoffs, a lot of teams shorten their bench to about maybe 7 to 8 guys, so they only really have a 3-man rotation because games matter in the playoffs, obviously. So it'll be interesting to see how these guys go forward in the regular season, and I'm looking forward to seeing Jason Tatum coming back. I think, even though he's young, and a lot of people in mainstream media like Stephen A. Smith, they're saying that, don't come back, you're young, you'll make it again. But, there's no guarantees in sports, there's no guarantees in life, and you only get so many years to play. And you only get so many years to play with the teammates you have, the coach that you have. And so I think, it's admirable that he wants to get back out there. And if he's got 100% clearance, and he is confident in his Achilles, I think you should give it a go. You only play once, you only live once, you only get one career, and missing games is like you're gonna look back on it like, dang, I missed the whole season because of an injury and I could have came back. And you're an athlete and you're a competitor, and that's what you want to see is that competitive spirit. And if he's good to go, man, he's got the green light. Let him play. Let him get a little run. Maybe 20 minutes a game. So he plays about 5 minutes each quarter, if that. You don't have to give him the full boat right away, or even the rest of the season. Just give him 20 minutes a game. It's just he's a threat out there. He'll always be a threat. He changes up how the defense has to play, play your offense. So I feel like he should play, and we'll see how that goes forward in the rest of the season, and how the Celtics finish out the regular season, being the 2 seed in the East right now, right behind Detroit. And they got the Cavs right behind them with Harden, who just fractured his thumb. So we'll see how the Cavs do going forward also. And the Knicks are, they're in the mix, but they're falling back a little bit, and they're looking up at the top now. All right, so that was our next topic was the Celtics in Denver. And then after that, the next topic, we're going to go over the Suns owner, Matt Ashibia, was on the Pat McAfee show, and they were talking about tanking and trying to make, how to make the All-Star game better. And the owner of the Suns said that he would pay out $1 million for the winner of the 3-point contest and the dunk contest. And, that's cool that he wants to, make sure that his fans and his home crowd has a good experience and enjoys a dunk contest. But it's like, how much money are you going to throw at the problem if you're the NBA? I mean, you come up with this tournament, throwing more money at players. It's like, dude, like the only way to get these guys to be competitive is to pay them. You know what they call that? They call that some hoe shit. You pay a hoe. That's what you do. And so I feel like it's just really sad that these guys just can't go out there on their own will and their own competitiveness and want to compete in these games and want to do it. You actually have to just keep throwing money at these guys. It's almost like the homeless crisis. It's like, yeah, you keep throwing money at the problem, but it's not changing anything. Like sooner or later, you're going to have to think of better solutions than just throwing money. Because next thing you know, you're going to be paying the slam dunk contest winner like $5 million or $10 million just so you get the best players. So you can't continuously just keep throwing money at the problems like that's going to change everything. You know what I mean? It's not. These guys have no competitive will. They have no want. These guys, I feel like nowadays players are just playing as because that's what makes them almost like it's a day job. Like, oh, my day job is I play professional basketball, but I really want to be a pro gamer, or I want to play a Pokemon. I want to collect Pokemon cards. Like, I feel like nowadays their profession is actually their day job, and they want to do something else, but this is what makes them the bread and butter. And this is what's going to pay for them to do something else afterwards. So I feel like nowadays the professional athletes, I feel like they put their profession as their day job, and they'd rather do other shit on the side to get their face out there, to get popularity, to get clickbait, to stay relevant. You know what I mean? And it's like, it's sad. It's like, enjoy your day job. You're only going to get this for so long. You're in your early 20s. You could do this podcast shit in your 30s and 40s. Like, you don't have to do it now. You don't have to do it now. There'll be something else that comes along that's just as popular. You know what I mean? So the fact that these guys, they treat their profession like a day job, like they're going to a 9 to 5 where they get a 30-minute lunch break and 2:15s. Give me a fucking break. You know what I mean? Enjoy your profession. Focus on one profession, man. You make enough money at it. You're already popular. You're on TV if you're a basketball player 4 or 5 times a week, if you're a football player, once a week. So enjoy your profession now. When you retire, when you leave the sport, or when the sport leaves you because they don't want you no more, then go into your podcast, go start your fucking food truck, do whatever the hell you want to do. All right. That almost was like a juiced up take. I should have put that as a juiced up take. But now, at the end of the show, it's the juiced up takes. All right. First juiced up take. Parent in Georgia. Watch how you pack them kids' lunches, parents. Get a little slipped up, get a little tired, you ain't paying attention. You put the little lemon drop martini cut water in your kid's lunchbox next to his Doritos. That's a no. So this mom in Georgia packed her kid's lunch, accidentally put her cut water lemon drop martini in the kid's lunch, thinking it was probably like a soda or a lemonade. And police just kind of they took it seriously, but not serious to the point where they just kind of put a reminder out there, like, make sure you pay attention when you're making your kids lunch. Don't be putting your martinis in there. But I just thought it was kind of funny being a parent because you do get sidetracked. You could be rushing out the house. Maybe you're running a little behind. You're running late. Kids being a pain in the ass this morning, so you got to give them a lecture. And you actually slipped the martini in the kid's lunchbox. Accidents happen. But if the kid would have drank it and his friends would have took some sips, that would have been pretty funny. The kids all tipsy in school, like drinking all their cut water. Like, that shit would be pretty funny. So word to parents out there, make sure you double check the lunch boxes when you pack them. If it ain't a juice box and it's a can, double check the can. And hey, shit happens, mistakes happen. First juiced up take, parent puts lemon drop martini in kid's lunch box. All right, next juiced up take. A mom in upstate, women, more power to you. The things you go through just dealing with men and men's bullshit, that's one thing in itself. And then you got to deal with life's bullshit and how you get treated as a woman. That's another thing in itself. And then giving birth is another thing in itself. A mom in upstate New York gave birth to a 13-pound baby. You heard me. 13-pound baby. So a mom in upstate New York gives birth to a 13-pound baby. You see the picture right here. The picture is next to a baby that came out as 4 pounds. And this boy is built. A 13-pound baby. He's already wearing 6 months clothes. He's probably already eating soft foods. He probably just skipped the breast milk, went straight to the soft foods. Like, nah, Ma, I want the peas and the carrots, and then give me a little bottle of milk on the side. So this kid is going to be eating. I feel bad for these parents. They better start saving up just for groceries. But a 13-pound baby, man. And the fact she carried this big kid too, man. More power to the women. Love y'all. More respect to the women, even more than I already had. And you know what? Us men, we take y'all for granted. And women are very tough. Only a woman could go through some shit like that. If a man had to push something out of him that was 13 pounds, we would be crying to the heavens. We would be telling the doctor to kill me. Like, men just can't take pain like women can. Women got a high threshold of pain. And that's my second juiced up take. Woman gives birth to a 13-pound baby in upstate New York. Good luck to you and your family. I hope the baby's great. I hope mom's doing okay. And that was a great story. All right, that's the episode today. That's episode 24 of the Juiced Up Show. I'm your host, Jake Juiced Up Accardo. Make sure you hit subby, likey, and comment and share. You can always email me, thejuicedupshow@gmail.com. Hit me up if you got any suggestions or comments, maybe some interesting stories I could share on film, and that would be great. Anyways, have a great night. Enjoy the evening, and I hope you guys enjoyed the show.